right, Coach Garrett, we're gonna work on one of our kettlebell squat flow exercises. To start, we're gonna start with the bell into the ground. Just push into the handles, whatever your side is. And from here, you can just shimmy, shake, you can sway, shake, and shake that head up. Rock onto the heels, rock onto the toes. Rock heels, rock toes. Heels, toes. Find that hinge. A reminder that that hinge position is kind of the gorilla position. This would be our deadlift versus our squat, which is going to be a little bit more vertical. So from that hinge, raise that right arm as high as you can. Return it. Left arm going high. Return it. One more on each side. Notice how I just get a little more free, a little more open on each one. Find that forward fold again. This time I'm going to reach for the bottom of the bell. I'm going to walk my hands back in between. I'm going to crawl them as far forward as I can go, keeping my heels down. Just kind of bounce, make it a little ballistic. Practice pushing through the palms. All right, from here, we're gonna go straight into 10 of those deadlifts. On that deadlift, you're gonna rip the handles apart, knees are out. I've got my strong arches, stand all the way up. Use that breath, and I like that Michael Jackson position, meaning the big toes are down, I'm taking that slight lean forward. On the way back, there's that hinge. I drop my booty back, come down nice and slow. I'm gonna tap it to the ground and back up. Doing roughly about 10 of those deadlifts. Okay, we're gonna start warming you up for the swings. On the next one, we're gonna give you 2 levels. Warming up that quadruped position. So again, that's shoulders over the wrists, knees are underneath the hips, and then they're strong. Okay, if that hurts your wrist, you can always come to gorilla fists, or you wanna challenge yourself, we're gonna go straight on the bell. The bigger the bell you have, it kind of gives you a little more stability. So now I'm in this quadruped position from here. Can I take opposite arm to opposite shoulder and minimize any movement? Again, can my shoulder stay over my wrist? There's force into the ground. I'm really challenging that core. Then from here, I'm now gonna raise a heel. You can do this from the ground. Or you can challenge your core strength and stability. That good hip extension. Roughly about 5 on each. Okay, so that was the harder level from the kettlebell. If you were doing that from the ground, it should have just looked like this. When this heel rises, it's almost pushing the other knee down and maintaining that cat-like posture. Avoid any of that sway that's moving in the body. From here, we're gonna do a round of kneeling halos. These kneeling halos, you're gonna stay nice and tall through the glute. I define core strength as your ability to stabilize through the spine and then move through the limbs. Tucking those back toes and getting through that toe mound are gonna help you out. So now I've got my core nice and tight. We're gonna go around the world 5 times. If you got your hair up in a ponytail or a bun, that might be a little annoying, but that'll encourage you to go a little bit bigger around that head. Okay, back the other way. Using that breath right here where it gets hard. Good, we'll bring that bell back to the ground. Come on back up. We're gonna do a second round of deadlifts. And this time, we're gonna go from the outside. That idea of a little bit of offset. Feet are gonna be a little more narrow, but can you get low enough to pick that all the way up with the left hand? And then set it down to the right foot. I'm gonna stand all the way back up, come back down. I got that good hinge, I got a flat back, right? Shoulders higher than hips, hips higher than knees, strong arches, core engaged as I set it down. Just the ability to produce force and stabilize. It's as if your body was even. A lot of our real world strength is offset or is on one side. That good. Reach across, powerful into the ground, decelerating as we come back down. Okay? We'll go a little bit faster to finish. What up, dog? All right. Again, that weight should be challenged a lot of times for females that have a little bit of a strength. A 20-pound kettlebell in that area is going to give you a good range. For guys, I recommend starting with a 16 kg or about a 35 and then moving up to a 24 kg or a 52-pound belt. So from here now, if you were down on the ground, you're gonna find that quadruped position again. And now this time, you're gonna try to bring that knee as high as you can to the outside with your arms bending. Again, the idea of maintaining that lat and that spine integrity as you move through your hips. That's what core strength is. Again, a lot of us, especially those that run and bike and do everything straight ahead, we don't do a lot of strength or mobility training. We don't have that ability to separate our upper and lower body. People who do a lot of yoga have a tendency to have a lot of stability in certain moves, but there's big gaps in it, okay? I'm on top of that bell, I'm pushing down. Can I bring that knee all the way in? Use that breath. If I get saucy on this one, I'm gonna extend it in. Find extension. My knees are basically going opposite ways, especially right here. Right knee is pushing forward and down, left heel is coming high. Anytime you can flex that ankle, flex that ankle. One more, Annie. Again, if you don't have the wrist strength, the core strength, any of that, to do that on the kettlebell, you can do that with your gorilla fists or from all fours. That looks like, again, it's just here, harder level, full extension. If I had my hot coffee on my back, it hopefully would stay flat. Syncing together your body, the bridge between your upper and lower body. It's all about hip and core strength. It's all about making life easier on your shoulders by engaging those lats and getting your core involved. We've got one more round for today's workout. This one, we're gonna do that same exercise we did a moment ago. So we're gonna get our feet all the way together in a narrow position. Playing around with different foot stances is big too. As somebody who likes to do a lot of kettlebells, I always take the same squat width, so I'm really strong and stable here. But life and athletics is in different foot positions. I was just helping my in-laws move. You gotta move stuff, you use different foot positions. So here's that narrow stance. Can I pick it all the way up? Set it back down. Any of that rotation, we want to come from the ankles or from the hips. It's a good hinge from the hips and a hinge from the knees. I'm gonna go a little bit faster. And why I love this stuff too is when you use these different foot positions, I'm just stretching my feet, my ankles, my calves, my torso in all of these different ways. That's what most stability is all about. I'm gaining mobility and stability through strength. If we're only gonna spend 20 to 30 minutes a couple times a week working on our most stability, let's focus on the things that are gonna give us the most bang for our buck, that we can improve our fundamentals, that also give us a little bit of novelty, a little fun, a little flow. In this instance, I'm using big patterns that I use a lot, but I'm doing them from a couple different angles. I'm challenging myself that much more. Okay, so now we're coming onto all fours. Now, can we do the dog on a fire hydrant? Can you do hip abduction? So those arms stay long. Any of that bending, you can tell I don't get it through the torso the best that I can. So going from the bell, again, shoulders are over my wrists. I'm planted in. Can I minimize that weight shift as I raise my leg like a dog on a fire hydrant? Really good control. I can finish that whole car out there. Car means circular, articular rotation, or controlled articular rotation. I don't know. I don't remember. Again, 5 high tension reps here on each side. Woo! Saucy. Okay, again, upper body's feeling a little bit from all that stability. Core and hips are definitely feeling it. So what that looks like from down here again, fingers are wide, they're spread. I'm rotated towards my pinkies. I got that wide base of support. Can I minimize weight shift as I take that knee away? That relationship to the right knee driving out and that left knee driving high. No bend in those elbows. If that's your range, that's your range. You gotta start somewhere. Anytime we spend a lot of time on those wrists or putting all that weight into here, I wanna make sure we undo it. So we're gonna start with a little wrist stretch. Turn your fingers towards you and drop your booty back. That's stretching all of that front side. You can kind of get those flexors and those extensors if you go both ways. Again, how much is the head connected to all that stuff? You use your breath and you soften into it. Back to the gorilla fist now. Can you create that cat position and sink into the shoulder blades and get that cow position? This one is so hard for me, specifically right there, that shoulder depression, keeping that tension into the ground as we move through that spine. Your spine is made to move, especially in that thoracic spine, that middle section. So we want to make sure that we pay that rent. Also going to work on our overhead flexibility a little bit. Plant that left foot, big toe mound is down, left knee is driving forward. Raise that right arm just as high as you can back. So I'm trying to push my knee as far forward as I can and pull that thumb back. Can I flex that bicep into my side? And I'm gonna open up that left hand and create that little bit of external rotation. Shake my head out. Take a little bit of a side bend. Eyes at the top wrist, eyes down to the bottom wrist. Specifically in swimming, stretching out that neck and that gaze, that spot in open water always jacks up my head and neck. Gotta be very mindful. And of course, that's where we keep all our tension, our stress. We're all in here. Then we're gonna go swim. Ah, my shoulder's messed up. I don't know why, Garrett. Ah, that exercise you gave me hurt. No. My exercise didn't hurt. Your poor form and inability to undo the stress of your exercise, that repetitive or chronic stress, is the reason why it's injury. They're called overuse injuries. Most injuries are overuse injuries. Again, right knee is driving as far forward as you can, left thumb is pulling back, finding that softness in the neck, rotating that right thumb back, and lifting that left side just a little bit. Can I get that psoas? Can I get that flexibility? You hear me talk about opposite shoulder to opposite hip? That's exactly it. Bringing the palms behind your back, interlacing, and just try to push the palms away. You can rest, round in, set your posture, come up. Rest, round in, set your posture, widen the knees, hinge forward, use leverage to help you pull up and over. Good. We will finish up with just a little bit of breath. So inviting you guys to use that down regulation triangle breath, that idea that if you hold your exhales and you slow down your exhales, it can help get that parasympathetic nervous system response. It helps you get out of the fight or flight of the stress of your day-to-day. It also, when we're working out, when we're all excited like this, it helps us turn the faucet off nice and slow. Can we move back towards stillness, back towards peace, and again, an opportunity to work on awareness to connection. So that triangle breath, we're gonna do 5 seconds in, 5 seconds down, 5 second holds, okay? You ready? Hand on the heart, hand on the belly. Practice your breath way. Coming in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slower exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Longer hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 second inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really slow exhale. Just let it happen. You stop doing. You surrender to that faith and trust. See how my posture even softens. Shoulders, jaw, neck, pelvic floor. Find that little bit of a peace at the bottom in your hold. Again, ride that breath wave. It starts down here at the belly. It rises up the spine, through the heart space, all the way to the top, 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 top. We don't have to forcefully exhale out. Just let it happen. Soften, 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 soften. Move towards peace. When I say move, breathe, create, this is what I mean. How do you feel right now? Just spent 10 or 15 minutes resetting our posture, getting a lot of these big energy centers not only woken up, but aligned and together. We use that breath to undo the stress of the workout, but to bring us back into our awareness, back into our center, and back to this kind of heart-centered living. Now we go create. What's that thing that only you can do, or what's that thing that fills this up? Do it. Do it intentionally. Do you on purpose.